This is Texans TV.
Texans All Access is presented by Mattress Firm, the official mattress retailer of the Houston Texans.
All right, listen, we're on the clock, and we're going to turn the pick in here in a few minutes. We're going to make you a Houston Texan.
Sounds good.
The Houston Texans select Derek Stingley Jr.
I'm excited, and I will always give 100% effort.
Whoa! Big hit! Derek Stingley Jr. Kenyon Green, guard, Texas A&M.
Y'all can rep my city. I'm playing for them. I'm going out here and giving all I got.
The Houston Texans select Jalen Petrie, DB from Baylor.
You're right around the corner. Yeah, you want to sprint here. All right, we're on the clock. We're going to make you a Houston Texan.
John Mechie, wide receiver, Alabama.
Touchdown, Mechie. Mechie says, okay, throw it to me.
But I was just happy, had a great time on the way in Houston, and I'm just extremely excited to get there.
We're pumped up. We'll talk later on.
The Houston Texans select Christian Harris.
I'm very excited. I love the defense that they have.
I was able just to come back to my home state. It's surreal.
Hey, son. Hey, it's your boy DP. Hey, Lewis running back. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
What a weekend. The NFL draft is concluded and the Texans have brought in some talent. This is Texans All Access, the 2022 NFL Draft, and I'm Drew Doherty, your host, along with my good pal, the man that knows it all, John Harris, team analyst, radio sideline reporter, and draft guru. John, if you look at the forest for the trees, the Texans got better. We're going to discuss that in just a moment, but we want to let you know we're going back in time and looking back at Nico Collins' draft experience a year ago. Plus, we're checking out all the good stuff from day 2 and day 3, as well as the first night of the draft. And we're going to hear from the GM. But, John, back to the forest for the trees. What did the Texans do in this draft?
They found a bunch of football guys. That's what they went looking for, guys that put football first. They found that. They found some really good teammates and professionals that are coming on the way. They found some unique guys, too. I mean, to talk about John Mechie, we'll talk about him later. He's got a unique background. These guys, a lot of them came from Houston. That was kind of cool to have that as well. But also, you found some physical football players that are going to help this program.
Yeah, fast as well. And when you look at the board, this is a really well-balanced board. You've got 5 on offense, 4 on defense. It was almost like a first one, then the other, and they went back and forth. And basically every position was touched upon. The only position that was drafted twice was offensive line. But you started in the first round and you did some really good things. But on the whole, this was a really, really impressive haul, isn't it?
Yeah, the athletic skill in these players, in some cases, off the charts. Started with Derek Stingley Jr. And Kenyon Green, I know he's an interior offensive lineman, but the way that guy moves at 325-plus pounds is amazing. And you saw that all the way throughout these draft picks. There was a level of athleticism, traits that you wanted to see in these players.
Yeah, we're going to break down those first-rounders in just a moment. But before we do, we go to a conversation with Texans general manager Nick Caserio.
All right, listen, we're on the clock, and we're going to turn the pick in here in a few minutes. We're going to make you a Houston Texan.
Hopefully we made some progress, try to take advantage of our opportunities here, hopefully add some good football players and good people to the building. And I think the most important thing for them is to be ready to work here in a couple weeks when they show up for rookie minicamp. They're soft-spoken, hard-working, humble, hungry, and love to play football. So I think those characteristics, and we would say, embody the players that we've added to the team.
This one is intercepted. What a grab by Derek Stingley. Off the left side, bouncing it out is Pierce. He's gone. Touchdown, Florida.
Coaches' opinions matters. There's a lot of people whose opinions matter. You have to have an understanding of what you're trying to do on each side of the ball, as well as the kicking game, and who are the players that sort of fit the profile. I'd say specific to Lovie and the defense. There's a certain profile that each position, each player, we hope for them to possess. So who are the players that fit that profile? So that's part of our job and responsibility, is to identify who those players are. And then it becomes a matter of positioning, how we get those players on the team. This player is a better fit, or this group of players we think could fit. So in his input, I would say an opinion certainly matters, and he has a lot of experience. He's coached a lot of really good players. He's coached a lot of really good defenses. So his perspective and vision for that particular player is certainly going to be important. Nobody puts the team first more than, I would say, the scouting and personnel staff. They spend a lot of time on their own. They spend a lot of time, I would say, away from their loved ones, but they're highly valued members of the organization. And I would say each person in each area within our building has an important job and an important role. And hopefully we're all able to reap the fruits of everybody's labor here at some point here in the near future.
And now he's aiming for his receiver to get to the end zone, and he got it to him. Touchdown, Mechie. Jr. going fast on 3rd and 6. That one fluttering, and it's intercepted.
The best thing for them is to walk in the building, embrace our program, embrace our players, embrace our coaches, and embrace the opportunity each day to get incrementally better. And if you love football, you'll be in the right spot. And now it's about the opportunities they have in front of you. We're respectful of the players' careers. They've accomplished a lot. There's a reason that they're in the position that they're in. But the reality is they're starting over, and the quicker they realize, then the better off they're going to be. And the quicker they get an understanding of our culture, of our team, of the people in our building that are here to help them, those are the people that are going to be able to help them become a better football player. So if that's where the primary focus remains, then they're going to have an opportunity to help our team in some capacity.
At the tippy top, the Texans go with cornerback Derek Stingley Jr. out of LSU. 2019, he was phenomenal, but what made them turn the page and just say, this is our guy, we got to get him?
He's healthy. He's healthy. At his pro day, he ran 4.37. He had a 38-inch vertical. He didn't forget how to play football. He just had been hurt. They went through a COVID year. In 2019, with all those first-round draft picks at LSU, on offense, on defense, Derek Stingley was arguably one of the top 3 players on that team. He went against Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase every single day, and not only held his own, was a star in those one-on-one contests. So this is a really excellent football player, great ball skills, excellent movement skills with his feet. He's not hands before feet. He's feet before hands, and that's a guy in the NFL that can succeed because of the way that he can match and mirror receivers. I think Derek Stingley Jr., I had him as my number 1 DB the entire time, cornerback. Yeah. He was the number 1 cornerback on my board the entire time, and when he ran that 4.37, lock it in, he was going to be a top 5.
Supremely confident, has great mental makeup there, and then with the other pick in the first round, the Texans go with Kenyon Green. Nasty up front from Texas A&M. This guy, the Atascocita high school product out of Humble, he can do some things as a blocker, and it doesn't really matter where he goes when he's blocking. It's probably going to be on the inside, but he's pretty phenomenal.
Zone game, power game, way he gets up to the second level and occupies linebackers. He's a people mover, and in this business, in the NFL, sometimes you only get 6 to 8 inches to move people, but that's enough sometimes as opposed to going the other direction. In college, it was a little bit more obscene. He's taking guys for rides. That's not going to happen every single day in the NFL, but he's got that strength. He's got the power. He's got the leverage. When you see him, he's a unit, man. That is a big guy that can move, and when he's pulling around a formation and he's blocking a 3 technique or he's blocking a linebacker in a power play, those guys are going backwards, and that's a fun thing to see from a young guy. And he's a young guy, only 3 years at A&M, and was an All-American there. He'll play on the interior. I think it's where he's best served. It's going to be fun to watch 55, Kenyon Green.
Yeah, you get that offensive line a lot nastier up front for the Houston Texans. Okay, when we return, we got to take a look at some of the guys on day 2, including Alabama wide receiver John Mechie. Don't go anywhere. This is Texans All Access, the NFL Draft of 2022.
Texans All Access is presented by Reliant, the official energy provider of the Houston Texans.
I mean, I'd say there's probably more consensus on this player than pretty much anybody that's up there.
Nice.
Lovie feels good about it.
Shut that corner.
I mean, we think he's got a chance. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And I don't think you're going to find these guys don't grow on trees.
Mm-hmm.
So,
how are you, man? Good. You with your family here in the hotel there in Vegas? Okay, good. All right, listen, we're on the clock, and we're going to turn the pick in here in a few minutes. We're going to make you a Houston Texan. Look, you had a really good visit with us when you were here. We're excited to get you here. Excited to add you to our team. You're a good player. You've been a good player. You're going to help our team. All you need to do is just come in here, just work hard, do your job, nothing more, nothing less. All right? All right, here's Lovie.
Hey, Derek, excited, man? Hey, Derek, you fit in when you came through here, man. You were our guy, and there's a lot of happy people around here. We got a plan for you. How about going to the number one receiver every time? Sound good? Sound real good. Just welcome to our team. We're pretty pumped up. We're going to do a lot of good things, all right? All right, hey, Derek, I'd like for you to talk with our owner, Cal McNair, right now, all right? All right, here's Cal.
Hey, Derek, we're excited for you. We're putting your number in here in just a second. You're a Tiger, but now you're a Texan, man.
Call of a lifetime there for Derek Stingley, the first pick for the Houston Texans. Texans hoping this draft was the draft of a lifetime. This is Texans All Access, the 2022 NFL Draft with John Harris, Drew Doherty here in the Texans locker room. And hey, let's start with day two. What the Texans did, went back to the secondary, went up the road to Baylor and plucked themselves a player in Jalen Petrie who can do a heck of a lot on the football field. And boy, the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year out of Stafford, Texas, only 11 miles from the stadium. Yep. He's going to be somebody that you can count upon to do some things to disrupt the offense.
To play chess in the NFL, you need a rook, you need pawns, you need the queen, you need the little castle, whatever those chess pieces are, that's what Jalen Petrie is. He can do a lot of different things as a safety. At the Senior Bowl, he was tremendous in coverage on inside wide receivers. He can play with range, he can play the run, he blitzes off the edge well. Jalen Petrie does a little bit of everything. I was stoked to see him at number 37 for the Texans.
Yeah, and then the Texans move up back into the second round. They get an Alabama wide receiver who's coming off of an injury, but he's pretty confident that he's going to be ready to go before the season starts. The Texans say, take your time. You're going to be there, and we're going to use you when we're ready. But John Mechie III, he can do stuff after the catch, and he is really, really exciting.
He's kind of the offensive equivalent of a Petrie. You can play him outside a little bit. You can play him inside a little bit. You can put him in the backfield.
Exciting.
You can run push passes, jet sweeps. There's a lot of different things you can do with Mechie, but he's a ball player. Against Florida in the 2020 SEC Championship game, Trey Dean from Florida had a big interception. Mechie clocked him, ball fumbled. Devontae Smith got on it. Next play, touchdown to Devontae Smith, game change. Alabama ends up winning. He just does all the little things out of the field.
Stuff like that is
and it's
incredibly
so
important.
Great to have him, and what an interesting background of John Mechie.
Yeah, that's true, and we want to get into that at a different point. But speaking of interesting, another cool background was the next guy that the Texans took. It was the final pick of day two, Christian Harris, linebacker from Alabama. So he's a teammate of Mechie's, but he also worked out and prepared for the draft with Petrie and with Derek Stingley, and he knows these guys. He and Stingley are from Baton Rouge together.
I mean, having that camaraderie coming in with a rookie class is really cool. I mean, it's great to have. And it's also cool to have guys that run at linebacker, like Christian Harris. The ferocity, the speed, the closing on players to make plays. Boy, the national championship game against Georgia with all those great players, he was arguably one of the top 3 players in that game.
That's exciting. All right, you talk about speed, and, well, Mechie's got some of it. He went one-on-one with our very own DP Sidhu.
John Mechie III, welcome to the Houston Texans. The Texans jump up in a big way to get a wide receiver here in the second round. What are your thoughts when you got the call when Houston made the trade?
I was just happy. I didn't really have many words for it, but I was just happy. I was excited. Had a great time on the way to Houston, and I'm just extremely excited to get there.
We saw that you obviously tore your ACL in the SEC championship game. I know you talked with our local media and you gave a little update on your rehab and how things are going. It sounds like things are really on the right track for you as far as your recovery goes. Tell us a little bit more about how you're feeling in that department.
Yeah, I feel great in that department. My knee's been doing really well. I've always been ahead of schedule, really ahead of schedule for where I am. And I'm just excited, just ready to get back. It's been doing well, no worries there, no speed bumps or hurdles, so it's been good. All
right, you've been all over the world. I mean, you grew up in Canada, you lived in Ghana. I'm sure I'm leaving out some places. Have you ever been to Houston? I mean, Houston's a pretty international city. How excited are you to get to live here? And what do you know about Houston?
Yeah, I've been to Houston a couple of times. Some of my teammates from Houston. And I know it's an extremely diverse city, so I can't wait to be a part of it with my family, just with our diverse background. I think it's just the perfect place for me.
After a quick break, the Texans get a pounder on day 3. Running backs and more on Texans All Access, the 2022 NFL Draft. We're back. We appreciate you checking us out. Drew Doherty, John Harris here in the Texans locker room. And on day 3, the Texans had 4 picks when it was all said and done. The first one, boy, a violent running back out of Florida, Damian Pierce. He can move some people and he can cause some problems.
In the radio room, when Tyler Miller told us it was Damian Pierce from Florida, because we were thinking Isaiah Spiller, and I heard Damian Pierce, I jumped out of my seat because I know what violence he brings to the run game. I was so excited to see Pierce. And oh, by the way, at the Combine, with Uggs slides on, he did 21 reps at 225. Still my favorite moment from this Combine.
That is a pretty cool moment. I can't do 1 rep of 225. And after that, the Texans go with Stanford defensive lineman Thomas Booker. This is an impressive player right here and an impressive mind.
No doubt. His family, Princeton, Duke, it's all over the place in Stanford. 300-plus pounder, sub-5 flat 40. I think he could play anywhere from guard to guard, inside. He can play the 3 technique, but he's explosive up the field, athletic as it gets, and of course smart, and Davis Mills' teammate at Stanford.
That's not a bad thing. And Davis Mills, speaking of, he gets a guy, an Oregon State Beaver at tight end to throw the ball to.
Yeah, Tegan Quitriano is one heck of a blocker. I was actually watching the Oregon State running back this year, and I kept looking at 84. This guy's blocking everybody. He's blocking Kayvon Thibodeau, Brandon Dorless. TQ is one heck of a blocker. I think he can develop as a pass receiver, but as a blocker right now, he's very skilled coming into the NFL.
And that's important because the Texans can always use that help up front. And they put the cherry on top of things up front by choosing, with their final pick, an LSU offensive lineman who played his high school ball at Cy-Fair. Talking about Austin Deculus.
Bobcat fight never dies, apparently. That was the first thing he said, but it's good to bring him back here. An experienced guy, played more games at LSU than anybody in the history of that program. A 4-year starter, Austin Deculus, coming back home to Houston.
46 starts at
46
right
starts.
tackle,
Yeah.
And he's got the ability, we think, to go inside if need be, right?
Yeah, I think he can. I think he's a guy that can play either. I'd probably start him at tackle and see how it goes, but you've always got that opportunity to go inside because he's got some strength, he's got bulk, he can move a little bit. Austin Deculus, pretty interesting pick right there in the 6th round.
Yes, 6 of the 9 total picks were from the SEC. All right, we got to take a break, but when we come back, we're taking a look back at a guy who was picked last year and is important for the future of the Texans. It's all next on Texans All Access, the NFL Draft.
Texans All Access is presented by Mattress Firm, the official mattress retailer of the Houston Texans.
Drew and John with you in the Houston Texans locker room. And, you know, as important as these rookies are going to be, so too are the 5 guys that the Texans drafted last year in 2021. One of them was Nico Collins, wide receiver out of Michigan. Did some nice things his first go-round with those first chunk of games in 2021, didn't he?
Yeah, 6'4", 215, really came a long way. I can't wait to see him in year 2.
And it's always fun to look back at what his draft experience was like.
The Houston Texans select Nico Collins.
I've been playing football my entire life. My dad had me on the field, man. He was my coach. He had me on the field at least 5 years old, pushing 6.
Wide receiver Nico Collins making the move up to 5 stars, a slight bump up. He was right on the edge of that 5-star status prior to our latest evaluations.
Freshman year in high school, I got moved to varsity on football and ended up being highly recruited by a lot of colleges. I would say that's when I started falling in love with football, once those offers started coming in. Coach Harbaugh, the reason I went to Michigan. I seen a lot of coaches, and Harbaugh really stood out to me, man. Just the academics and just the way he carried himself and cared about the team. Man, just you hear the crowd screaming, student session, hearing your name on the intercom, and hearing 110,000. seeing your teammates run up to you, patting you on the helmet, you make a good play, sideline, juiced up too, man. Just playing in front of that stadium, man, in my 3 years, I really loved it.
Going deep for Nico Collins, and he's got him inside the 20.
My goal was to go to the NFL, but I know my time in Michigan it was day by day, step by step. Whatever I did, I was gonna attack it, man, and I wasn't looking too far ahead. I was in the moment, just trying to get better, working on my game and things I needed to improve on. Coming out college, man, I was hearing late second, early third, or late third, early fourth, really. And I was lucky enough to get invited to the Senior Bowl, and that's when a lot of coaches were there, and I feel like that was a time for me to showcase my talent, my speed, and what I can do because I didn't play that following year, and everybody did. And so I feel like that week in Mobile, man, really helped me out a lot. Just that whole process, it's a waiting game. You don't know if you're gonna get the call. A lot of thoughts go in your head, like, is this it? Am I good enough, not good enough? I never forget when Houston called my phone, man, and I think that was the best day ever.
Nick Caserio, we're just about to turn you in with our pick. Look, we're excited to have you here, man.
I looked at it and I seen Houston, Texas area code, and I couldn't do nothing but I just smiled, man. I tapped my brother, I just looked at my brother, he looked at me, and we just big grin, just a smile, man. Just, I don't know, I just dropped my head. It's just like a relief came off my shoulders. See my mom smiling, crying, and it was a lot of excitement.
The Houston Texans select Nico Collins.
Nico at the 5, Nico in the end zone, the dagger!
I want to work on my game, still room of improvement, get closer with my teammates, new faces coming in. I feel like I want to make everybody, close brotherhood, offense and defense, man. So we go out on Sundays together, man. Mondays, Thursdays, no matter what day it is, man. Go out there and have fun.
Okay, it's time for a nap because this guy has been talking on the radio for about 58 hours straight. You doing okay over there?
I'm hanging in there, man, but I do need a nap. Gonna get some Z's this weekend.
You'd never tell. He looks fresh as lettuce and could probably go another 55 hours. All right, hey, make sure you go to HoustonTexans.com, the Houston Texans mobile app, and check out all the fun content we've got, articles, videos, podcasts, and more. We thank you for watching. The Texans got themselves a great haul. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to know when we post new content.